What is up, YouTube? It is Jafer, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the videos rolling, but I wanted to touch on this. This is something that's been reviewed across the board everywhere. You've already got insight from the biggest YouTubers out there, but I still wanted to give my impressions on it because I do appreciate you folks reaching out to me and wanting to know, Jafer, is this good? Is this bad? What's going on? And my crappy opinion is valued, and I value your guys' value on my crappy opinion. Anyway, yeah, so what we're taking a look at is going to be the Huntsman Mini by Razer. Just came out a couple weeks ago. I didn't score the sweet one with the custom spacebar. I got mine at Best Buy, but let's take a look after this quick unboxing. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick unboxing so you know exactly what you get when you pick up your own Razer Huntsman Mini. I got mine at Best Buy, so let's see. Nothing as far as any fancy packaging like that you're going to see from your favorite YouTuber. However, upon opening it, you are going to be greeted with a sealed keyboard like such. And we're just going to go ahead and peel this off. If I can get my hands on it. There we go. And there's the keyboard itself. The rest of what you're going to find inside the box is going to be your USB-C, which thank God is not proprietary. And then, of course, with all Razer products, you're going to get your warranty instructions, which does come with a 2-year warranty through Razer. And then, of course, your stickers. So that's about it as far as the actual unboxing experience. Now, when you do get your Razer Mini, I do recommend plugging it into a USB 3.0 if your computer does have it, as the Razer keyboards are super bright. But these would be the two components that you do get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, here it is. This is the Razer Huntsman Mini. I picked mine up at Best Buy. And with this one, it comes in 4 variants. This is going to be the standardized Razer Black model with the purple clicky switches. The other model that's available online is going to be the Mercury White, which everyone's pretty familiar with from Razer. It's their side lineup, really the same peripherals but in white. And that also comes in clicky. If you're someone that's looking for a linear switch like your Reds, those will not be available until sometime in August. I don't know if there's an actual date on those yet. But I want to discuss this particular model with the clicky switches because one thing that really got me excited about this was those switches, as I've been using the Huntsman Tournament Edition for I think 8 months now. And the linear switches on those are just hypersensitive. It's terrific for gaming, but you can't do a damn thing when it comes to typing with how sensitive they are. And with the clicky switches, they're still incredibly fast. I mean, we're looking at a 1.5 millimeter distance of actuation with a 45 gram actuation force, whereas the red ones are 40 grams of actuation force. And at only a 5-gram difference, I'll tell you right now, it means the world when you're typing. With this particular guy, this is $119.99. Now, when the linear switches do arrive, they are improved versions of the old one, and those ones are going to have dampeners in them. And so that keyboard is going to cost you $10 more at $129.99. So it's a price to pay, I guess, on the improved switches, because that was one problem that we did have with the Huntsman Tournament Edition. It was just so loud. And if you go to Razer.com, I'll leave a link below. You can definitely hear the audio differences between the two once those do arrive. So you can kind of make your decision from there. But with this keyboard here, it's a 61 key layout. You're going to notice there's no function, there's no number pad. This is really for a gamer that wants the most space on their desktop. This is not really something for an office setting because you're going to have to really pretzel your fingers to maneuver some things. And I say that over dramatically, but you're going to be hitting the function key if you want to hit things like your arrow. So what's nice about this keyboard is it does come with double Pbt Keycaps from Razer, which has been a stellar value because looking at the font, it's really clean, it's very clear, and it's very thin. It's not gamery and bold looking like your Corsair or HyperX. It's very clean. But on the sides, you're going to see that what you're missing on your actual keyboard isn't really missing at all, but you're going to have to hit the function key. And when you do so, no matter what lighting profile you do have, you're going to notice that they do turn white. And that's really signifying that, okay, you're in that function mode and you can go ahead and control your media, all your function keys, your arrow, and of course your home setup of your print screen, page up, page down, and you know, the keys that no one ever uses. Those are still there for you with the function. Looking at this keyboard though, I will say it's not perfect. It's a very nice keyboard. It's very well built. I don't notice any flexing or anything like that with it. And on the bottom, you're going to have, just like the Razer Tournament Edition of the Huntsman, you're going to have this branding for gamers by gamers. Yeah, it's cheesy, but it's Razer, and that's what they're known for. They're very into throwing that gamery marketing in your face, and I'm okay with that. So you have different settings you can go with. You do have the option to lay it completely flat, and that's going to give you the best grip on your desk. It's got 4 large footprints on each corner. Now, if you don't want to lay it flat, that's not a problem. You do have the option of going in a different direction with that, but it is going to be sacrificed because you're looking at a 6 and 9 degree angle. But as you're angling these, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, look how small the feet are on this. And it's rubber, but it really doesn't feel like there's any grip to it at all. So I will stress that unless you have like a glass surface, this is probably going to slip around on you a little bit. And not just because of the fact that the keyboard itself has just not so great feet, but because it's only 15 ounces. So that's just under a pound. Whereas the keyboard that's really just taken the market by storm with the Ducky 1.2 Mini, the identical keyboard, but by Ducky, that's 1.5 pounds. So that extra half pound definitely makes a difference when it comes to really just the mobility of the keyboard, because you don't want to be gaming and having it slip and slide when you're in like a heated battle of whatever you're playing, right? So that's one thing that I did notice I didn't like as much, and I tend to have myself playing this at a flat surface. Other than that, though, with the purple switch, if you're unfamiliar, you're going to be looking at, I don't want to say it's going to be the same as your popular Cherry MX Blue, because they're definitely not, right? These are optical switches, and with the optical switches, you do have the stabilizer bar, and it is a lot faster and lighter than your MX Blue. But if you are familiar with, say, box J's, box whites, or the blue feel of a Cherry MX, then you're going to feel right at home, because it's going to have that clickiness. And we'll get to a sound test here in a second. But with this keyboard itself, it is a great keyboard if you don't customize it. So the one issue you run into is that it has a standard row, which is great. So you can put whatever key set you want on it. The problem is you're going to lose those side legends, and that might get you kind of tangled up or lost, right? The function keys won't be so bad, but you're going to have to memorize everything else, like the media keys, the brightness, your lighting setting, and your arrows. So keep that in mind if you are switching your keycaps, that you're going to lose that, because Razer does not sell their keycap set in the green, the pink quartz, the mercury, and the black with those side legends like they come with on this keyboard. But it is great that it is standardized, unlike other manufacturers that still have it like that. Other than that, though, this is a keyboard that I would recommend if it's within your budget. The issue that I do run into with this is that for $120, there are options out there that are just as good. You don't need to go to a name brand. With the keyboard itself, other brands that might be a little bit cheaper, you might not have the option to customize. As with this keyboard, you do have the option, because it runs a USB Type-C. You can run whatever you want. So if you're going to space cables or Swift shells, you can run any sort of USB-C cable. But at the end of the day, when you look at the features and the functions of this keyboard, I kind of feel like for the money, there might be better options out there for you. I think Razer would have really hit a home run with this if it just would have been a little bit cheaper. You're looking at the Ducky 1-2 Mini at $100. It just seems weird that they want to charge $20 more on switches that, while it is their proprietary switches, they're not the first ones to do optical switches, right? So it's not breakthrough technology, and no one really had a problem running the traditional mechanical still. So the pros, I would say, is definitely going to be the PBT with the legends. It's really nice to have that there, and just how clean the keycap set is that comes with it, because they could have really cheapened it and went ABS, right? And ABS is going to give you the better RGB lighting. The illumination is going to be much brighter, but PBT, in my preference, because it has that grainy texture, it just feels a lot better. And then also, Razer does listen to the market, so I give them props on being like the first big main manufacturer. I mean, we're talking Logitech, Corsair, SteelSeries, Razer, right? Like, this is the first brand that's really come out with a 60%. I feel like everyone's been playing it safe and just going with the 10 keyless. And of course, having your switch options, having linear or clicky. I'm really hoping they come out with a tactile option. I'm a big fan of tactile, and hopefully that's something they have working on down the road. At launch would have been really great, or at least just having these two options both at launch. Other than that, though, my end result is going to be the too light. It's too lightweight, and it's too lightweight and it's too pricey. And with that lightweightness, as I've already mentioned before, it's going to slip around. So all in all, if you have a Ducky 1-2 Mini, I say stick with that. If you don't have a 60% keyboard, I would say this is definitely worth it. Now, to give you a quick sound test before I let you go, we are looking at my box Jades, which are probably my favorite clicky switch. I don't have it in an actual keyboard because whatever I'm going to give you an audio test on, say my drop alt, it's going to sound completely different because of the casing. With this being half aluminum and half plastic, my drop alt's completely aluminum. It's not going to sound at all comparative, but to give you a rough idea, this would be the box Jade. And then I'm going to hold the keyboard up to the microphone to give you an idea on the keycap switches for this, or the actual purple clickies. So with these switches, they're not overly loud, but they're very audible. I would say they're definitely more audible than your MX Blues. And with that, of course, you can always add dampeners if you want, but that would defeat the purpose of getting clicky switches to begin with. But other than that, I definitely would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Is Razer continuous efforts to listen to the industry, is this a good thing? Or do you think they kind of fell short with this when you have the Ducky 1-2 Mini that's been out there, and it's fantastic. There's not much that's wrong with the Ducky 1-2, and obviously that's going to be their biggest competitor. So other than that, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. You guys have yourself a great day and stay safe.